All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining today. It's Julie from Ocean Rehab and Fitness. So we have one main piece of equipment we're going to use for our resistance today, and that's a set of hand weights. If you only have one, that's okay. I'll attempt to remember to make some modifications, but I am going to use two hand weights for part of our class today. That'll be a bit later on. If you don't have any hand weights, maybe you have a couple of soup cans or water bottles or something like that. And again, if one hand weight is better for you from a control perspective, I will kind of give you a little bit of cueing on that as we move along. But we don't need that yet. That's for a little bit later on. I also wouldn't mind if you had something like a pillow or a rolled up sweatshirt or a rolled up towel, something like that. If you don't have that, it is not the end of the world. That will be near the end of class, and occasionally I run out of time to do my thing that I plan on doing with it. But if you have that handy anyway, just set it away for later, and it'll be something optional that we can use a little bit later on in class. So. Yes, thanks for joining. I'm going to start back on my chair with some back support. Oh, I usually say as well, I always have a water bottle handy. So if you do too, just make sure you take a drink whenever you need one in class. And I'll try and give you a few cues for water break. So you can be with back support, shoulders low, maybe your eyes to close for a moment. And why don't we take a few moments just to do a little bit of a body scan while you're focusing on your breathing. So just kind of do a little head down, top down scan and see how you're feeling today. You can kind of check in on energy levels, hydration levels. Um, did you have breakfast this morning? All of those things play into how you'll feel for your class today and maybe how you need to adjust some of your workload. And then you can do a little check as well as to whether you maybe have been working through some sore joints or muscles that you need to make sure are nice and warm and maybe be a little kinder to them. So maybe for our resistance portion, you set down your weight if it's feeling like anything is bothering you, or at least just be aware or be aware of posture before you start to move. So with all of that in mind, you can kind of make note of anything that you notice during your body scan, and then you can turn your attention just to a nice even inhale, exhale, where every inhale makes you sit just a little bit taller in your chair, and every exhale is a full exhale, but keeps most of that length that you just added. So nice big breath in, sitting tall, and an equally big breath out. Good, we'll do two more like that. Awesome. All right, from here we'll draw those tiny circles on the ceiling. So as if you have a crayon projecting from the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And then back the other direction. Good, last one there. And then we'll do three big head circles around one direction. And then we'll turn around and go the other direction for three head circles as well, head and neck. Awesome. When you come back through center, you can just reset posture so shoulders are relaxed. We'll do a little shoulder check here, one side and then the other. Good, last two. And one. And then come on back through center. We're gonna do that tiny upward shoulder shrug and then a nice firm down set. So shoulders come up just slightly, really just so we can get that full range to set your shoulder blades down in a really strong set position. So we'll do two more like that. And one, And then we'll do the same thing, slightly rounded shoulders, only because we want that big pull back. So rounding is obviously not where we want our shoulders, so we don't want to spend much time there, just enough that we can feel that real squeeze of shoulder blades into center. Last two, and one. Good. And then from here, we're going to take our hands down to our sides with palms facing forward and continue those shoulder shrugs. Now we don't need to do that forward roll. Our hands are already kind of setting our shoulders into a nice position so that shoulder blades can squeeze together at the top end. Good. Let's do it. 3, 2, and 1. And then we're going to keep that same movement going. So that's our rhomboids between our two shoulder blades with our elbows pulling back because our rhomboids are working to pull our shoulder blades together. So this movement is now a little bit lower, kind of midsection of the shoulder blade. Good, last one here. And then we're going to go potentially, well, we're going to go a little bit higher in our arm positioning. So we're going to come up to like a right angle at the elbow and shoulder to pull out and in. Core muscles engaged here. So that's most important. I don't want this to be a low back loading exercise. If you can get a little bit of shoulder blade squeeze still, that's great. But most importantly, core muscles working. Last two. And 1. Awesome. Let's take those hands down to your lap. Shoulders now stay in that 30% in, 30% down set position where the muscles aren't working at full power to hold in either of those two positions, but just enough that you feel like it's quite manageable. Hands are on your lap for our first few forward hinges. If forward hinging is not available to you, you need to be at your chair back, then belly button towards backbone. Slight press into your chair back if that is safe for you to do. Good. So let's just do 2 more nice slow forward hinges. And 1. Awesome. And then with our hands on our lap still, we'll do our side flex as well. So hips are even on the chair. We're going to get a little bit of a weighting change one side to the other as we side flex. Come back up. Same on the other side. If you feel like your hands need to be stabilizing you at the base of your chair or the arms of your chair, that's okay too. We're just on your lap for now. So we're moving from our mid-spine and we're getting those oblique muscles warmed up here. Last one each way. Awesome. We better do a rotational warm-up too before I add a little more arm patterning in. So maybe you're slightly away from your chair back, both hands on same side lap to gently rotate side through center. Really paying attention to how this feels today. It can be a very small move, especially to start, just to warm up through that spine as we start to rotate. Tell your core muscles they have a job to do here. Let's do one more on this side. And then we'll switch to the other and do the same. Let's do 2 more here. And 1. Awesome. Okay, we're going to start with one hand, doesn't matter which one. We'll add dual arm movements in just a moment, but for now we're going to go 3 different directions. We're going to go open palm to push forward, and then push side, and then push up. So push front, push side, push up. Actually, I might stay on single side because then I can do a little more flex and reach that way. So we might just stay here. Let's do one more for now. Good. One hand is available to be on your lap or stabilize on your chair. We're going to stay on this same side and add a bit of a hinge as you press to the front. a little side flex as you push up, and a little side flex, sorry, as you push side, and a little side flex as you push up. There. So to the front, to the side, to the ceiling, to the front, to the side, to the ceiling. 2 more. Last one. All right, let's get those same things going on the other side. So first we were upright, no flex, just to do the arm movements. So press in each of those 3 directions. I love how many cameras are on today. It's good. I like seeing people out there in internet land. Good, last 2. And 1. Awesome. This hand is available, free hand to hold on if you need that extra bit of stability to hinge as you push to the front, side flex to the side flex to press up. Hinge forward, side flex press, upward press, side flex as well. Press front, press side, press up. We'll do that 2 more here. Last one here. Awesome. All right. I'm taking a little bit longer with warm up today, but it's feeling good. Hopefully it's feeling good for you. I'm going to grab a quick drink of water. I have 1 more warm up thing to do. Maybe I'm taking longer with warm up because it is really so cold outside where I am today. I need some extra warm up. We have a wind chill today that just chills you to the bone. Okay, so we're gonna do the exact same move, but now we're using both hands, and we're going to do, before we were doing a press, now we're doing more of a pull. So the reach is just to get ready to pull. Okay, so let's just do a few just of the forward movements. So really this is kind of our row, right? Close row. Hinge is optional. Good, last one here. To the side, we're gonna stay upright, and you're gonna reach for something that's on both sides of you and pull it in towards chest level. So reach and pull. So we need some stability here through our core to keep this nice strong position as we, pull those 2 objects in towards us, right? Last 2 and 1. And then we're gonna do the same thing up above, reaching and pulling something down to chest level. We'll keep arms on a relatively even train track here. So I'm not bringing my elbows out too far to the side. And core muscles are keeping my rib cage in place. So I'm not loading through my spine too much for this one. Low back. Last 2 and 1. Good. Reset. I'll just put those 3 things together and then we'll get going on our official cardio for today. So we're going to do a forward reach to pull, a side reach to pull, and then an upward reach to pull. Forward, optional hinge, side, up. Forward, side, up. 2 more. The last one. Awesome. Okay, so my plan is to do one of our interval classes today. I think that that's kind of some really good bang for our buck, right? We get some heart rate raising exercise in nice manageable segments. So I'm doing 45-second intervals. I guess I should probably introduce them before I start my timer. So let's do them together. We'll just do a few of each and then we'll get going. These are ones, if you've done my class, that you've seen before. So interval number 1 will be our burpees. That's a reach for the floor, a reach for the ceiling. So kind of not unlike some of what we were just doing, just a little bit different. Um, Hinging is optional. So maybe you're really actively reaching down and then sitting really tall for your upward reach. Or if you need to stay at your chair back, arms are reaching down, staying supported. Last 2 for now. And 1. And then from there, we're moving into our skier arms. So if you're planting the poles and you're giving that big push back behind, again, you have the option of staying upright, keeping that support, or hinging into the move. So getting that extra bit of reach for your pole plant as you push back. Good, last 2. And 1. Our third one is our good old seated jacks with lots of different options. Arms, single arm, bent elbow, single arm, long sweeping, dual arm, either of those 2 options as well. The more we move our limbs, the harder the work, right? So this is a bigger move. My heart rate is going to go up a little bit as I work through this one. Last one. Good. And our 4th move is our sprinter arms. So you can be upright, core muscles engaged, lots of power here. You can be slightly hinged forward and give a little bit of rotational movement if that feels good. Lots of different ways to get some extra work out of this one. If you are slightly hinged, long spine here. Last one for now. All right, so we are officially ready to start the timer. If you need a quick drink of water or anything else before we get going. Our first one is our burpees, and I'm going to start my timer right now. So we have 45-second of down reach, up reach, pacing yourself. So whatever feels good for you today, you can always change the pace partway through. I typically do 4 rounds of these 4 interval segments. We'll see. Like I said, I spent a little extra time on warm-up today, so we'll see after 3 how we're doing for time, but that'll be my intention for now. Good. Making sure you're taking nice even breaths in and out still. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Moving into our skier arms. Shoulders away from your ears, nice long press back, option of a hinge. Lots of core engagement, regardless of whether you're hinging or staying at your chair back. That little bit of belly button to backbone just to give us that support through our hip bone points at belly button level really helps to protect the low back and give us lots of power through the core. Awesome. Just pacing yourself. We got 5 more seconds left on this one. 2 and 1. Good. Our seated jacks are next. This is round 1, so I'll let you decide if you are going big right off the start or if you're easing your way in. So again, single arm, dual arm, bent elbow, or straight arm for these seated jacks. We got 10 more seconds here, and then we have 1 more before we're done our first round. 2 and 1. Good. Our sprinter arms are the last one. Shoulders are set low. Those shoulder blades, they can be that 30% in, 30% down for this, if possible, just to keep that set position. So we have lots of power coming through our shoulders. A nice strong arm pump here. So you can almost imagine that you're moving your arms through, I don't know, like mud or something where you really have to press to keep moving. 10 more seconds here. And then we have a 45-second rest. 3, 2, and 1. That went fast, sorry. And that was not 10 seconds. And then you can shake that out. Grab a drink of water if you need one. Stretch it out. Decide how that first round felt and if you need to make some changes for round number 2. Good. If you were enjoying having that little bit of extra workload and you want to go back to maybe your sprinter arms just to kind of keep the heart rate up, we only have 5 more seconds. We have 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Moving into our skier arms. Here we go. Good. So that option of a bit of a hinge for this one as well as you take that big reach forward and then press back, imagining propelling yourself forward. Ten more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Moving on to our seated jacks. Your choice, single arm, dual arm, bent elbow, or straight. Looking good. Awesome. We're coming up on 10 seconds here. This one always feels longer, doesn't it? 3, 2, and 1. And finishing off with our sprinter arms for round number 2. Good. Nice long spine here, regardless of whether you're nice and tall with support of your chair back or slightly forward hinge. We got 10 more seconds here, and then we are done round number 2. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. All right, maybe give yourself a hug. Shake your head back and forth, or drop your chin to your chest and shake your head slowly. Come up tall and unwind your arms, maybe some shoulder circles to the back. Grab a drink of water if you need one. We're getting ready to do round number 3. It'll look exactly the same. Of course, you can make any adjustments that you need to for intensity, depending on how you're feeling here. I'm going to get those sprinter arms going just to keep the blood pumping. We're starting in 5 seconds with our burpees. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Burpees, round 3. Okay, keep going. 15 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Moving on to our skier arms. Just I forgot which one I was doing. Skier arms. Here we go. Long arm reach for that Pull plant position. Good, looking slightly forward as opposed to down at your lap. That means we're in a nice long spinal position right from the top of our head down. Ten more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Moving on to our seated jacks. This will be, I think I've decided we'll still do round 4, but we'll do some modifications as usual to slow it down and maybe challenge the core a little more and focus a little less on the cardio aspect. So this may or may not be your last official round of seated jacks for today. We have about 15 more seconds left. Good, we got 3, 2, and 1. And then finishing off with our sprinter arms here. Awesome, keep going here. We have 10 seconds left. We'll take another little reset and chat about what's next. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, shake it out. Okay, so typically for round 4, we start to slow it down a little bit and work a little bit more on core control and what muscles we're working. So you are certainly welcome to do that. If you're loving the cardio and you want to add another round of cardio, that is totally fine with me. You know just what to do. So I'm going to grab a drink of water and we're going to potentially change it up just a little bit. So instead of our burpees, our dual arm, we're gonna go one arm that reaches down cross body to pull up. So you're gonna do a hinged reach or an upright reach, cross body. We're gonna do about half the time on one side and then we'll switch to the other side, okay? Last 2 and 1. And then you're gonna do the same on the other side. And you can do these quite slow. If you wanna really focus on core and that set position of your rib cage, so keeping your rib cage connected through the core muscles. We'll get 2 more in here. Last 2 and 1. Our skier arms aren't going to change. We're still doing that reach, but it's now slow motion. So you can really think about the hinge function. So shoulders stay low, core muscles really engage as my body comes forward with that forward reach of the arms, and then continue to engage through the core as the arms come back. Good, and shoulders are of course low for this one, right where we need them. We've got 3, 2, and 1. All right, our seated jacks, I think we'll do the same as we did for our burpees. We'll stay on one side. We're gonna do up and over, where it's a bit of a, kind of like a rainbow quarter circle side flex. If that feels good, I have one hand available to stabilize. Both hips are still staying in contact with the chair, although weighting wise, the weight side to side is changing a little bit. Oh, I got carried away on this side. Last one. We're going to switch to the other side. I'm going to ignore my timer when it goes off, and we'll try to do about the same amount on the other side. Forgot I was supposed to be switching. Sorry. Good. Let's do about 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. And then we're going to finish off with our sprinter arms, where this is our slow motion running man, right? So running woman or man. So we are really engaging through our core. We're adding just that little bit of rotational aspect if that feels good to you. And you might be slightly forward hinged, staying nice and long through your spine. So all parts of our core are working here, right? Make sure you're not holding your breath. This is approximately 45 seconds because I messed my timer up, of course. So we're doing 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. All right, sit up tall, shake it out. We are getting ready to, I'll stop my timer here, do a tiny bit of resistance work. I didn't leave myself very much time for that, but we have a couple of things to do. So I told you to have 2 weights if possible. So if you have those, you can grab them both now. If you use a grip support, like active hands or something like that, you can get them set up so that you have both weights for the duration of the exercises that we're doing here. We're going to do a few bicep curls to start with. It's mostly bicep, tricep for the little bit of time that we're going to be doing our resistance weight today. Oh, and I did say, if you just have 1 weight and you would like to continue to just use 1 weight, that is totally fine. I would say I'm going to do approximately 8 in total of each exercise. And so if you would like to do maybe 4 and then switch up to the other side, or if we're doing 2 different kinds of exercise, you can do 8 on one side and then switch to do exactly the same on the other. So for this one, we're doing our regular bicep curl all the way up, all the way down with palms facing forward. If you have maybe arms of the chair or something else you need to clear, a little bit wider positioning is fine with me. I'd like your elbows to stay in just a neutral position as far as upper arm positioning goes. So as you curl up, elbows shouldn't be swinging forward if possible, right? They should be staying close to your side. I said we were going to do 8 and then I didn't count. So let's do 3. Well, that's about 8. 2 and 1. Good. Now I'm going to switch to just one side just for a moment. So one side might tuck in at your hip joint just to stabilize. The other side, we're going to come to our half lift with a press. So we're just going to stay in this half lift bicep position to press forward and back. Four more. 2 and 1. Good. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So of course you would just trade weight to the other hand if you only have 1 weight today to press out and in. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. You can set that weight down on your lap too, just for a moment. So the next piece to that is to do both arms at the same time, half lift with a press away. That needs a lot more core stability in order to do that. So certainly at your chair back, if you need that extra support, shoulders are set. And this doesn't need to be as far as you could possibly reach away from your body either. So do pay attention to how this feels to do half lift, out, in, down. I want those core muscles working hard. I don't want this to be felt in your low back at all. We're actually gonna just do 4 of these for now. So this is 3 and 4. Good. And then if that felt okay, you're gonna do 2 more where you hold the extension, like you're handing somebody a tray of cookies and you don't want to drop them, right? So shoulders are set, core muscles engaged. You're gonna do half lift, out to hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back in and down, and one more time. Half lift, out to hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Awesome. Okay. We're gonna sneak in just a few tricep exercises or sets. So shoulders are set. Let's go. Let's see. We're gonna do single side to start with. We're gonna do 8 of them and see if we can get that done. I'm gonna slide to the side so you can see my posture better. So upright is absolutely fine for our tricep kickbacks. If you like the extra challenge of the hinge and you're able to maintain that length through your spine, I'm good with that too. So whichever you like. We're gonna do 8 of them. I've been counting, sort of, but we've also done a few where I was talking. So I'm gonna do 2 more. And 1, good. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side where maybe you're upright for our tricep press back, or maybe you're hinged. So here we go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Come back up tall. Just like our biceps, we're going to do our triceps both at the same time. Or if you just have one weight, you'll do maybe 4 per side. Hinging is still optional for this one. We need that little bit more stabilization in order to have both arms pressing back at the same time. So whether you're upright or whether you are hinged, we're gonna do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we're going to do 3 times where we hold back for the count of 5. So a little bit different. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. Do it again. Press back. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring it in. Last time. Press back to hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you can come up tall. Awesome. That is all we need the weights for today. You can set them down. Class is speeding by. I'm going to grab a quick drink of water. If you need one, go ahead. And we are ready to stretch. So let's all do this first stretch together, which is a little bit tricep, but more into upper shoulder and rhomboid. So you can give yourself a cross-body pat on the shoulder and then hug that arm in towards your chest. If you also are comfortable with rotation, maybe you're rotating just slightly into that stretch and looking over your shoulder as well, just a tiny bit. Good. You can ease your way back through center and unwind that arm. We're going to stay on the same side. You have 2 choices now. You can do the exact same stretch we were just doing if that felt good, or if your shoulder is agreeable with our up and over tricep stretch where you're pressing that elbow up either with your hand above your head or crossbody at chest level, you're welcome to do that. If this does not feel like a nice stretch for you, it's uncomfortable through the shoulder, whatever else, then you're coming back to the stretch we just did, crossbody instead, okay? So hug your arm into your chest. Good. And then you can ease your way out of that one. So we have the same 2 stretches to do on the other side. First, we'll all do our crossbody hug together. So actively pulling that arm in and then maybe slightly rotating. You can always look over your shoulder as well. Good. Ease your way out of that one. You can unwind and decide how this shoulder feels. If you know already that you're best in that same stretch again, you can go ahead back to that one. Or on this side, if you can get that up and overhead and have it be a comfortable stretch, you can go ahead and settle in that position. If you are overhead, we're trying to keep our neck at more or less a neutral as well. So it's tricky to have all the pieces line up, but see if you can get a comfortable stretch without your head moving out of the way in order to get that stretch. Good. You can ease your way out of that one. All right, we're going to take our hands either on our hips or into our back pockets. So perhaps you're sliding slightly forward on your chair if that's available to you, to open our elbows up to the back, pressing our hands gently into our hips and maybe raising our chest just slightly. I was going to use our pillow or whatever other thing I had you collect for part of something similar to this today, but I don't think we really have time to do that one justice. So this one is just as good. Awesome. You're going to ease your way out of that one. This is another choice. So stretch number 2 might be exactly the same. Or if you are comfortable having your hands kind of cradling the base of your skull to open up your elbows to the side this way instead, maybe you're also raising your chest just slightly, taking some nice even breaths in and out here. Awesome. And then you can ease your way out of that one. All right. We're going to take a supported rotational stretch next. So we rotated a little bit when we were stretching our rhomboids and rear shoulders. Both hands to the same side lap. And maybe once we get going, one hand to the back of your chair for support. So if you're comfortable in a nice tall position, rotating and holding this for a few breaths, maybe you can grab onto that chair back and get a little more chest and front shoulder stretch at the same time. Not necessary, so whatever is comfortable for you. Good. And then you'll ease out of that one and do the same on the other side. So guiding with rotation, maybe holding onto that chair back and getting a little bit of front shoulder stretch as you hold this rotational stretch. And then you can ease your way back through center here. All right, we're going to take our hands and press them back and then roll thumbs in towards each other and press back just a little bit farther. We'll stay nice and upright for this one. Just getting a little bit of a bicep stretch. They're a tricky one to stretch sometimes. Shoulders are set. Let's do that one more time. Press back. Thumbs are in towards each other as you press that little bit farther. And then release. Good. We're going to take one hand and put it back either on our hip or in our back pocket. Doesn't matter which one you chose. And then you're going to look towards the other hip, opposite hip to the hand that's on your hip, I guess. It's we're getting a little stretch through the side of our neck here. Good, you can ease your way back through center and unwind that hand and do the same on the other side on your hip or in your back pocket, looking down towards your opposite hip. All right, ease your way back through center and unwind. I have a breathing exercise to finish things off today, and sorry, but you have choices again. So 3 choices based on your level of core control. If you are best at your chair back, belly button towards backbone, engaging for a nice even breath in and out. That is great. You're going to stay there. Think about long spine. If you like to are comfortable in a hinged position where you can keep that length through your spine, maybe having your belly rest on your lap for some support. You could put that pillow that I had you grab there for some support as well to hang out. That's great. Or number 3, if you like the cat-cow, so moving through some spinal flexion and extension. Maybe you're curving through your spine to come up tall and then rolling down, looking forward. So whichever one is feeling best for you today, wherever you're at, taking some nice big breaths in and out. You're going to finish off one more and then come up nice and tall. And we'll hang out here with back support just for a moment. Shoulders are low, maybe your eyes are closed. When I start my class with a little bit of a body check-in, I like to end it the same way. So you can do a bit of a body scan again now and see how you're feeling. If you'd made note of anything at the beginning of class that you needed to pay attention to, or if you had a sore spot that you were maybe a little bit worried about what would happen once you started moving, you can kind of note how it feels now and see if maybe you need to make some changes for next time, or maybe that sore or stiff joint feels a little bit better after moving through class and getting some range of motion. So just make some mental notes for yourself about all of that. And then let's take a nice big breath in and out together. And then you can open your eyes and we'll still finish class the way we always do. A little bit more breathing, starting down low, reaching to the ceiling 3 times. Last one here. Awesome. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you have any questions or just want to chat for a minute, feel free.
I have a question, and
Yeah.
it's been bothering me, and I don't even know if you have the answer.
Okay.
Where are we supposed to put our feet, and how wide should our knees be from each other? You do a lot of hinging, and my feet, I can't figure out if they're supposed to be back behind my knee, in front of my knee, at a 90-degree angle. Should
Okay.
I separate my knees? I don't know.
Yeah, okay, that is a good question. And occasionally I do a class where we do a little bit of foot positioning, but I know that that's not the focus of this class, so I try not to do too much about it, but you still can't see me. I like to be stacked. It really is about what is a good base of support for you. So typically a base of support for most of us is feet about hip width apart, and then a right angle at the knee, right angle at the ankle, right? So I can have that 3-point on my feet pressing down into the ground, and then while I hinge, I'm not putting, extra pressure on my knees. If my foot was back this far, I get that extra pressure that's really not doing me any good, right? So yes, I would say this is ideal. I know a lot of people have trouble maintaining the knee spacing. And if that's you, sometimes it's too much to ask when we're doing a bunch of other things too, to ask for muscle control, as well as to be doing something like, holding a ball to keep that spacing. But that's another thing to consider. So next class, I can actually do a little bit more setup work too, so that we're set more in this position when we start. But this is the ideal. This isn't necessarily going to work for everyone, but we're stacked so that we're in a good base of support here.